Hey, this is Math Minutes Pro with Dr. Harrison. Today we will talk about how to use proportions to solve percent problems. Now, I know there are different ways to solve percent problems. For example, you can convert this percent to a decimal and multiply that by 125, but we're not using that strategy. So you want to be a flexible student, growth mindset, be willing to learn different approaches. You may have a professor or a teacher who asks you to demonstrate your ability to solve this percent problem using the strategy of proportions. So we're going to focus on that. A lot of times students forget that, so I think we're going to do well. So notice we're asked to find 100% of 140% of 125. So first thing we want to do is we want to convert this 140% to a fraction or a ratio. So the way we write it is we write 140%. When you see percent, you write that as 140 over 100. All right. Now, the positive thing about this is when you are setting up a proportion, you have part over a whole equal to part over a whole. Okay? So we want to set up the proportion and then we can perform our calculations. So I'm going to demonstrate how you write this proportion from scratch. So 140% is written as 140 over 100. That's 140%. Now, that's part over a whole, part over a whole. And it says of 125, okay? So that means it's of 125, that's 125 that goes right there in the denominator. All right, that's the whole. So what's left? X. And that is how you convert this statement, 140% of 125, into a proportion. So now that we have the proportion written, we're going to use the strategy that we're going to use is called cross product. So it's cross product. That is our strategy. Okay. So the cross product simply means that's what this, you have this X with the arrows drawn here. Okay. So you draw a line from this numerator to this denominator, which means, and then after that you write 140 times 25. This implies multiplication of these two numbers. Bring down the equal sign right there. Then you draw a line from 100 to X and you write 100 times X. So this cross product implies that we're doing 140 times 125 right here equals 100 times X. And that's what we have right there. And when you multiply these two numbers here, you get 17,500. You bring down the equal sign, and then you bring down 100 times X. Notice we're always going from left to right. So develop a habit of solving problems from left to right, okay? Now, we need to isolate X and get X by itself. So what I did was I copied this part right here. Again, 17,500 equals 100 times X. And to get rid of the 100, which is the coefficient of X, the opposite of multiplying by 100 is to divide by 100. So then we write our line here, and we divide both sides of the equation by 100. This is referred to as the division property of equality. It's an inverse operation, the opposite of multiplying by 100. So the 100s cross out. 100 divided by 100 is 1. Go back to the left, 17,500 divided by 100 is 175. Bring down the equal sign and then bring down the X. So we've successfully solved a percent problem using proportions and the cross product as a strategy. So thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out my Patreon page in my video description below. On my Patreon page, you can get access to exclusive math lessons, study tips, live Q&A, and more. See you next time.